Okay, great. Okay, so we will begin sitting down. And you've got your 2 blocks and strap. Excellent.
You know, I knew this was a really good deal for you to get the ticket, but it's been a really good deal for me to get the yoga. So I'm very happy with the deal we made.
I am too. Thank you. I don't know why I can't come to Spotlight. I can go speaker view. I've never seen it that I can't be on Spotlight. Usually I can spotlight my screen and then it never goes, like you can talk and it won't jump over to you. That's so strange. What is that? Huh. Oh,
Well, I mean, you can't make it so it only shows you.
Well, I can, but the minute you speak, you're going to show up.
Don't worry about it. It's fine.
But then when I speak, I show up. But it's strange because every Sunday and Thursday, I can spotlight myself. But today, I'm not getting that option. I'm getting speaker, gallery, or immersive. So I'll just go on speaker. Okay.
Yeah, well, one option would be if I never talk, but that's not going to happen. So we won't even consider that.
That would be an option, but okay, let's start out in Baddha Konasana. Okay, so soles of the feet together and resting the knees onto blocks.
I wish you could see right now. Blake had his head so far into that box, I thought he was going to chew out the bottom.
Oh my gosh, it's a nice big toy box. All right, sitting on the edge of your sitting bones. So you feel almost as though you're like on a teeter-totter. You could just teeter forward at any moment. And this will give the pelvis a more of an anterior tilt. So holding on to your shins or your knees. Lift your spine tall as you inhale. And I want you to keep that altitude through your sternum as you exhale. And let's take 2 more breaths, deep and rich. And keeping that height in your spine as you exhale. And 1 more deep inhalation. Exhaling. Great. And at this point, we'll pull our right knee up and take your right foot forward, lengthening your right leg out in front of you. Take your strap and loop your strap around the ball of your right foot. We've done this the last time, but it'll be nice to have it on the big screen. And then holding onto the strap with your right hand, take your left arm forward. We'll begin moving with our breath. Inhaling, float your left arm out to the side and back. And exhale, bring your left arm forward. We'll do that 2 more times for a total of 3. Following your left thumb with your eyes, turning your head, looking behind you, and then coming forward as you exhale. 1 more time. Breathing in.
Can you see Blake?
Oh, I see him now, yeah. And breathing out. Nice. And now we'll keep the legs where they are, but just change hands with your strap. So now the left hand has the strap. The right arm reaches forward. And inhaling, float your right arm back. And exhale, forward. Great, twice more. Inhaling. And exhaling. Last one. Keep your right foot flexed and spread your toes. And exhale. So when you're back at center, take your strap into both of your hands. And we're going to fold forward, but before we do, I want you to get a good grip on your strap. Draw your shoulders back, almost like you've got the reins of a horse and you're saying, whoa. I want you to breathe in and look up, shoulders back, sternum up. And then as you exhale, begin to come forward, walking your hands down your strap without forcing or pushing.
Yeah, you just disappeared.
Oh, shoot, I did. What on earth? That's bizarre. I'm nowhere near. Okay, hello.
There you go.
It's weird. All right, thanks for that heads up. I wonder what that's about. Our weather is good today, so, well, it's a little cloudy.
It's drizzly here.
Is it? Sometimes when it's really windy, our service will get dodgy. Okie dokie. And then lift yourself up. Remove your strap and let's do the other side. So pulling your left knee up. You'll stretch your left leg down and bring your right knee in so you can rest your right knee on the block. And we'll start with this easy little simple twisty move. It's juicing up the spine. Hold on to your strap, looping it around your left foot. Holding onto your strap with your left hand, right arm forward. And then here we go 3 times. Breathing in, float your right arm back. And return to center as you breathe out. Twice more.
I just can't stop licking my hands. I think it's because I just ate some salmon.
I was going to say, maybe did you just have lunch?
I did.
And change hands with your strap. Now your left arm will float to the left and back as you inhale. And to center as you exhale. 2 more times. Good. Last one. Left arm back. Reach back, reach back. And return to center. Take a hold of your strap with both hands. Pull your strap so you've got a little leverage there. Roll your shoulders back and take your shoulder blades down your back. Breathe in, look up. And then fold forward as you breathe out. Walking your hands down your strap. And again, not trying to force ourselves into any deep pose or deep stretch. It's more about length in the spine. Shoulders back, neck is long. Good. And then slowly come up, and you can lose the strap. Set the strap to the side and pull your left knee up. Let's come into Baddha Konasana one more time, right where we started. Soles of the feet together, hands to your knees or your shins. Sitting tall in your spine, crown of your head, ascending upwards. And move your lower jaw back and forth a couple of times. Checking for any unnecessary tension, maybe residual tension from the day or the week. All right, great. Good. With your right hand to the outside of your right knee, pull your right knee up. And with your left hand to the outside of your left knee, pull your left knee up. And let's come on to our hands and our knees. And you can bring a blanket under your knees if you'd like that added cushion. Have your blocks up at the top of your mat. Have them on standby. All right, so we'll do a little bit of work through the shoulders, starting first with what I call wrist raises. And it's pretty much just what they are. You're going to peel your wrist and palms up off the sticky mat, but keep your knuckles down so your thumbs can come up, but your other fingers all the way to the knuckles should stay on the mat. So your wrist might not come up very high. That's okay. Keep going. Keep your arms straight. That's also important. Peeling wrist and palms up off the mat and then setting them back down. And peel up and set down. I'm sure you can tell this is an excellent counter movement for texting, being on a computer, even driving a car as we grip the steering wheel or the gear shifter. Terrific. Let's go one more time, peeling up and down. Great. Now we're going to come into what I call scap squeezes. So your shoulder blades, your scapula, are going to draw in towards your spine as you breathe in. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then pull your shoulder blades away from your spine as you breathe out. So it's not really a cat-cow, right? The lower back stays out of the picture. We're simply isolating the side-to-side gliding movement of the shoulder blades. And again, just as in the previous action, we want to keep the arms straight. Because if we bend the elbows, then it becomes a bicep issue, right? We want to just keep the shoulder blades lubricated, moving across the ribs. We'll go a few more times. Your inhalation brings your shoulder blades together so your chest dips down ever so slightly, and you pull your shoulder blades apart as you exhale. Great. Let's go one more time. Squeeze in and then pull apart. Good. And then from here, I want you to take your right arm straight out to the right. We're going to come into thread the needle. So you'll sweep your right arm onto the floor between your left hand and left knee. And this is not a bad idea or a bad place to put a block under your head. Oh, I just got a little mini chiropractic adjustment in my upper back. That felt good. Press your left hand into the floor so you can unthread your right arm. Bring your right hand to the mat. And take your left arm out to the left. Breathing in. So when you exhale, you can sweep your left arm onto the floor between your right hand and right knee. And either bring your head to the mat or rest it onto a block. Press your right hand into the floor and slowly come back up.
By the way, I'm going to have to stop at 4:20 your time because the traffic is not predictable going across town.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Okay. And because I'm on my mat and my screen is big, I can't see what you're doing. So I'm just going to trust that you're good. Shout out if you want me to slow down or anything.
Yeah, I will. I'm fine so
rolling.
far. Yep.
Okay, terrific. So now we can roll into 3 rounds of cat-cow. As you breathe in, tailbone moves up, arching low back, middle back, upper back, and then breathing out, rounding. Good. 2 more times. Arching as you inhale. And rounding on the exhale. Once more. And exhaling. Great. So we come back to a neutral spine, and I want to get off the wrists for a minute. So set your blocks on their tallest height onto your sticky mat. And then how about bringing the left foot forward? So as many steps as you'd like. Left toes can come to the mat, and the left hand can come behind the ankle or the calf and inch the left foot up. You come into a low lunge. We can keep the blocks on their tallest height. This will allow us to take our shoulders back and beam our sternum, our heart forward. We're going to take 2 more breaths. Great. Now what I'm going to have you do is keep your right hand on the block. Bring your left hand to your left knee. Roll your left shoulder back and turn your sternum to the left. Excellent. Bring your left hand to the block once again so you can unwind your spine. And then to get out of this, we're going to shift the hips back slightly. And you can drag your left foot back and bring your left knee down. Wag your tail a couple times. And then we're going to take our right foot forward. Stepping it up, walking it up, or pushing it up there with the help of your right hand. Coming into a low lunge with the left knee down on the mat. Your hands or your fingertips can be on your blocks so that you can bring your elbows in towards your ribs, shoulder blades gliding down your back, and just looking forward. Two more breaths. Inhaling and exhaling. And inhaling, exhaling. Keep your left hand on the block. Bring your right hand to your right knee. Begin to roll your right shoulder back. Turn your sternum to the right. Wrap your left ribs around towards your right leg. Coming to a twist.
Sunday night, I'm doing a deep stretch and acupuncture class.
Oh, I love a deep stretch class.
But with acupuncture for the last 30 minutes.
Yeah, what a treat. I think I heard you talking about that to, what's her name?
Kim?
Kim, thank you. Yeah, Kim. Yeah.
Yes, I think she's going to try to come sometime soon.
Oh,
she had a really bad accident. Did she talk about that?
Oh yeah, she did. She did mention that. Yeah.
Yeah, but she's about over it now, but it took a while.
Yeah. Bring your right hand to your block. And then we're going to take the hips back just a little bit. So we can bring the right knee to the floor. Okay, wag your tail. Okay, now, this time, we're gonna have you spin, spin your left foot over to the left. And then you can stretch your right leg long, so you're facing the long edge of your mat. Your left foot's behind you. You're still on your left knee. Right leg is shooting down towards the end of the mat, and then really hug your sticky mat with all four corners of your right foot. And you can bring your right hand to your right waist. And I'm going to keep my left hand on the blocks. I like the space that it gives me through my ribs. But from here, with your right arm, sweep up and over 4 times, big circles. Keep your legs stable, your right leg steady. And on your last one, on the 4th one, take your right arm over your right ear and let's hang here for a few breaths. Modified Vashisthasana. Excellent. Bring your right arm up. Good, and then right hand to your waist. Coming out of it one step at a time. And then you can bring your right hand to your block. You can bring your right knee down and then pull your left foot in. It's a safe way to exit that side bend. And wag your tail a couple times. And then we'll move right into the other side. So now you're going to pivot your right foot out to the right. It's like a kickstand. And then stretch your left leg down the length of the mat. Bring your left hand to your waist. And then here we go. 4 big circles, left arm up and over. And on the last one, we're going to keep the left arm reaching over the left ear. Left arm reaches to the ceiling, and then left hand to your waist, and then left hand to your block. Good. Left knee can come to the mat at the same time you spin your right foot onto the mat once again. Great. Set your blocks to the side, come onto your hands and your knees, and we'll do 3 rounds of cat-cow. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Tonight's class is a flow, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, good. We're going to keep this low to the floor then. One more on our hands and knees, and then we'll hit the mat. Take your right leg straight back. Just do a little bit of balancing. Keep your eyes focused on the mat. And then if it feels right today, take your left arm forward. Keep your ears in line with your shoulders and your shoulders in line with your hips. Excellent. Bring your left hand down and your right knee down, and we'll go right into the other side, taking your left leg back. Finding your balance first and just maybe coming up onto your right fingertips. And if the balance is there today on this side, you can take your right arm forward. Bird dog or spinal balancing. Right hand to the mat, left knee down. Good. Rock into child's pose just for a beat. Full breath in And a full breath out. Not staying long. And slowly coming up onto your hands and your knees so that you can roll over and have a seat on your bum and then come onto your back. Okay. On your back with your knees bent, take your feet every bit as wide as your mat, maybe even a little bit wider. Then you can take your arms out like a T, and we'll do some windshield wipers. And I like to use the breath as you breathe in. Take your knees to the left. That supports that back bend or the arch, the extension through your spine. As you breathe out, bring your knees back to center. Inhaling, you'll take your knees to the right. And exhaling back through center. Let's go a few more times from side to side. And you're welcome to experiment with turning your head opposite your knees if you like. If it feels good, great, go for it. If there's any strain in the neck or the throat or the jaw, then forget it. There's an infamous yoga teacher named Vanda Scaravelli, an Italian woman. I think she might be dead now. She has a really lovely book called Awakening the Spine. She was a student of Iyengar's for a bunch of decades, and she's famous for saying, if you don't like it, change it. And I like that after having spent a few years myself being extremely rigid about, oh, foot must go here, alignment must be perfect. But you know, in a 50-year-old body, a 50-plus-year-old body, I ain't going to do that anymore. Let's take the knees over to the left the next time that they're to the left. Let's pause there for a couple of breaths. And you can take your right arm either over your head to the floor beyond you, or maybe out on the diagonal a little bit to the right. Let's try to find as much space as we can from the right knee all the way to the right fingertips. So spread your fingers, open up the webbing between each of your fingers, spreading the fascia of your palm. Great. And you can relax your arm and come back through center with your knees, and then we'll take our knees over to the right. And stay here for a few breaths, and same thing. Left arm can go up, or I like to take mine on the diagonal a bit. And spread your fingers. Jazz hands. Reach your left hand and wrist away from your left knee. Excellent. Relax your left arm. Bring your knees back up through center. Heel toe your feet onto the sticky mat. And then we're going to take bridge pose for about 2 minutes. I like to use a block. You can lift your hips just high enough to slide the block underneath your pelvis. Settle your hips onto said block. Not so concerned with how high the block is, but rather that you feel stable and that your hips are somewhat elevated. And then from here, you can gently Tuck your left shoulder blade in towards your spine and tuck your right shoulder blade in towards your spine. You taking your legs up?
Yeah.
Yeah, great. I like that. That's a great version. I'll do that too. Viparita Karani. We will drop the lymph, the plasma and blood from the toes, ankles, the feet, and down into the pool of the pelvis. See that your jaw is at ease. And you can invite your tongue to relax to the base of your mouth. Maybe even separating your bottom teeth from your top teeth. So the jaw is just a bit unhinged. Got about another 30 seconds. Great. And one at a time, knees to your chest. And then one at a time, feet to the floor. Good. You can slide the block out from underneath you. And then once again, hug your shoulder blades towards your spine. So there's a little bit of a lift to your chest. And then I want you to tilt your head back so you're looking in the direction of the wall or the door behind you. Take your eyes, look towards the baseboards. In this way, we release what was previously compressed. Gentle compression of the thyroid and parathyroid glands, throat, neck, the lymph nodes around the neck, throat, and jaw. And then take your lower jaw, your bottom teeth, and jut them beyond your top teeth, like a, I don't know if that's an underbite, like a bulldog. Stretching the base of your chin. Excellent. Then relax your jaw and bring the back of your head square on the mat slowly. At that point, you can release your shoulders. And then either take your feet wide and let your knees knock inward so they rest against one another, or stretch your legs down the length of the mat. We're going to take about a 30-second Shavasana. Terrific. So if your knees are bent, bring your feet towards one another on the mat. If your legs are straight, now's the time to bend your knees. Set your feet to the floor. And we're going to roll over to one side, whatever your favorite side is. And slowly lift yourself up. Great. Hi, Blake. Blake's a good boy.
Yeah.
Blake's a good boy. All right, David, off you go. Now
Okay.
you're very, very zen to handle the traffic.
Yep. Why don't you just email me a suggested time, 3:30 your times, one day next week, if that works.
Sounds good. I'll do that. I'll do that when I send you this,
Yep.
recording.